Imagine a world where working on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is banned across the United States. For millions of Americans, this would mean a guaranteed 3-day weekend every week. At first glance, this might sound like a dream come true. More time for family, rest, hobbies, and self-care. But beneath this appealing vision lies a complex and transformative scenario with profound consequences for the economy, society, culture, and daily life. What exactly would happen if the US government enacted such a sweeping ban on work during these 3 days? To fully understand the implications, we need to examine this policy from multiple angles: economic effects, labor market changes, industry responses, social and cultural impacts, legal and political considerations, and the long-term shifts in how Americans balance work and life. First, let's clarify what this ban entails. The proposal forbids any form of paid work or employment activity on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. This includes all sectors, from office jobs, factories, retail, healthcare, hospitality, to gig economy work. No employees, contractors, or freelancers would be allowed to work during these 3 days. Violations would result in penalties for both workers and employers. The immediate question that arises is, how would businesses cope? Most companies depend on continuous operations, especially in sectors like manufacturing, retail, and logistics. Retail stores rely heavily on weekend foot traffic. Factories often operate in shifts across all 7 days to maximize output. The service industry is busiest on weekends. Even essential services like healthcare have 24/7 demands. If work were prohibited Friday through Sunday, many businesses would face serious disruptions. Retailers would lose their busiest shopping days, leading to sharp revenue declines. Factories would have to compress their production schedules into 4 days or reduce total output. Restaurants and entertainment venues, traditionally busiest on weekends, would see major losses. Transportation and delivery services would be severely limited, affecting supply chains nationwide. To survive, many businesses would restructure operations. Some might shift to 4-day work weeks, focusing all activity Monday to Thursday. Others could invest heavily in automation to maintain productivity without human labor on weekends. Companies might also adjust pricing to compensate for reduced operating hours, potentially increasing costs for consumers. On the workforce side, employees would experience a dramatic change in routine. With Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays off, workers would have extended rest periods. This could improve physical and mental health, reduce burnout, and strengthen family bonds. The extra free time might encourage hobbies, volunteering, education, or community involvement, enriching personal lives. However, not all workers would benefit equally. Hourly wage earners who depend on weekend shifts for overtime pay or additional income would suffer financially. Many part-time workers, students, and gig economy participants rely on weekend work flexibility. A blanket ban might reduce their earnings or push them into informal, possibly illegal labor markets. Healthcare and emergency services present a unique challenge. Hospitals, police, fire departments, and emergency responders cannot simply stop working for 3 days each week. The government would likely carve out exemptions for these critical sectors, but this raises questions of fairness and enforcement. Workers in exempted fields would still have to labor on banned days, potentially exacerbating burnout and labor shortages in those industries. Another important consideration is the impact on the broader economy. Consumer spending patterns would shift dramatically. Weekend leisure activities, dining out, attending events, shopping, would decline, affecting hospitality and entertainment industries. Travel and tourism could also contract, especially weekend getaways and short trips. Conversely, the longer weekends might stimulate growth in other sectors. People might spend more on home entertainment, hobbies, or weekday activities. Some industries could innovate new business models to cater to changed consumer behavior, like midweek promotions or extended weekday hours. The impact on productivity and economic growth would be mixed. While employees might be more rested and focused during their 4 working days, overall output could decline due to fewer working hours. This might slow GDP growth, reduce tax revenues, and strain public services. The labor market would also experience significant shifts. employers might hire more workers to cover reduced individual hours, potentially lowering unemployment. Alternatively, companies could cut jobs to save costs in response to lower revenue. Wage structures might change, with less opportunity for overtime pay and weekend premiums. This could spark labor disputes or demands for higher base pay. From a legal perspective, implementing a nationwide ban on work 3 days per week would be unprecedented. It would require new legislation, likely face challenges in courts, and provoke fierce debates over individual freedoms, business rights, and economic priorities. Enforcement would be difficult, especially with the rise of remote work, freelancing, and gig platforms that operate 24/7 digitally. Culturally, such a policy could transform how Americans view work and leisure. It might reinforce the value of rest, family time, and community. The traditional 5-day work week would be shortened, challenging long-standing norms. This could improve work-life balance and happiness for many, but might also create tensions for ambitious workers or entrepreneurs who prefer flexible schedules. Religious and cultural diversity would also influence responses. Some religions observe Friday or Saturday as holy days, while others observe Sunday. A universal ban on these 3 days might inadvertently favor certain groups over others, or force accommodations and exemptions. Education systems might adapt as well. Schools might shorten weeks, align holidays with the new weekend, or implement more intensive weekday schedules. Parents would have more time with children on extended weekends, possibly improving family dynamics, but also requiring adjustments in childcare and after-school programs. Environmental impacts could be significant. Reduced commercial activity on 3 days might lower pollution, energy consumption, and traffic congestion. This could benefit urban air quality and reduce carbon emissions. However, increased leisure travel on 4-day weekends might offset some gains. Technological innovation might accelerate as businesses seek solutions to productivity challenges. Automation, AI, and digital tools could help maintain output despite fewer working days. This could reshape industries, labor skills, and economic competitiveness in the long term. Internationally, the US would stand out with its 3-day work ban. This could affect global supply chains, trade relationships, and competitiveness. Other countries might view the policy as progressive or detrimental, influencing diplomatic and economic ties. In summary, banning work on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday across the United States would be a revolutionary change with mixed outcomes. It could improve personal well-being, family life, and the environment, but would challenge economic stability, business operations, and labor markets. Thoughtful planning, flexible policies, and broad collaboration would be essential to navigate this unprecedented transformation. Thank you for watching this in-depth exploration of what might happen if America banned work on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Please like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking discussions about the future of work, society, and economy.